Meeting of the Berlin Board of Health being conducted via Zoom. Anyone who wishes to speak will be given the opportunity. The meeting is being recorded for future viewing if anybody needs to revisit things. And with that, we can just get going. Apologies to anybody that's out there for the delay, but kind of a new crew and we're just getting started, so no issues.
We're doing fine.
For discussion, all right, for discussion, we have 44 Marlborough Road.
Yeah, resident on that street called and said that it appears to be someone living in like an RV trailer on that street address. So I drove by during the day. There is a trailer there, but obviously it's hard to tell if someone's living there. So first letter I've drafted, which Paul will have for you to sign on Thursday, goes to the owner, just gives them the heads up that we've got that complaint and that temporary housing is not allowed under our housing code, just to kind of give them the heads up. Then we see if we get any reaction to that.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, then we would get into a more stern letter, probably go knocking on the door of the trailer, etc. But first we'll try this, just to give them that heads up.
Is there an occupied house on the property, Billy?
There is. Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah.
The owner's
Right.
address is in like Georgia or something. So, I don't know
Oh, yeah.
what the deal is there. But
Oh,
that's
I know
what
which,
it's going.
probably know which one it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's if you're coming in off a River Road, it's maybe 3 on the left.
Oh, on the left, oh.
Kind
I'm
of a
sticking on the
small
left.
red house, and the trailer kind of sits in the rear yard. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Is it where June and Billy lived for years, or?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
I thought I
'cause-
recognized the house.
Yeah, nobody could figure out who owned it.
Yeah.
After a while, but anyway, yes.
Okay, 3 Gates Pond Road.
Yeah, so we were sent a package. I guess there's a ZBA hearing coming up. That's the old Shiro restaurant, Gates Pond
Yeah.
Road. And we've had some involvement out there. But now they're trying to get it straight so that they can do a multi-use. They want to do a like a retail type showroom for his tile business. I guess that's the part the ZBA has to approve on that first floor, and then upstairs residence. So I've drafted up some comments that I would be happy to send over to planning. We need a kind of a labeling of all the rooms in the residential portion of the building, see how many bedrooms they're proposing. We need either a 2-compartment septic tank or 2 tanks in series, because again, it's something other, if it's approved, it's something other than a single family home. And it was a non-conforming pre-existing public water supply well. I don't think they're going to hit 25 people there, but again, it's up for them to tell us, the type of occupancy they're looking for, so we can make that decision if it has to go to DEP for that opinion.
Boy, that's been quiet for over a year. I mean, since we went through on inspections. I was wondering.
Yep. So I don't know. There's plans available, but again, we need more info on them.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
The septic isn't too old there, right, Billy? But it may need a 2-compartment now because of the situation.
It's very old. It goes back to when a place was a restaurant, but it passed the Title V. I mean, it's 3 big leach pits. It's nice sand and gravel soil, so there's no real problem with the system, but it's got like a 3,000 gallon single compartment tank. So they got to figure out what they want to do. They could try to divide that or
Right.
put a tank,
Okay.
like a smaller tank after it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
244 South Street.
Yeah, that is
Down by Crosby?
Oh, that's Christine. That's the one up on the hill that
Flynn,
she sent
Christine
us
Flynn.
letters. Yes, Paul.
Didn't she, we sent her a letter, I thought that she needed to upgrade her system and she asked for some time due to various
Yes.
hardships, I believe.
We
Yes.
sent a letter on February 10th. And we got a response on March 26th. I think I scanned and emailed this to you, but it was a while ago. So basically, I'll quickly, said she received a letter recovering from medical issues. Let's see. She says she's looking into funding for the large expense of a septic replacement. And started looking for a reputable company to help install. So basically, she's saying at this point, I'm asking for more time to accomplish this during my rehabilitation. So not a real date or time frame. So I don't know if we want to respond to that and ask for a more definitive window of time or let it lie for now.
I don't recall, did we give her a time frame back in that February letter, Bill?
Well, the original deadline was July of 2022. So this goes back a ways.
Yeah.
So what the board asked for in the February letter was a written proposed timeline for the upgrade. So we did ask for, I guess, a little detail.
Okay. And that's in failure, Billy? Is that the idea, or just it wasn't up to grade?
It didn't actually have a Title V failure, like a full inspection, but Lakeside did go out and look at it, and if I can find their letter.
Oh, don't worry about it, Billy. I guess.
Bottom line
So
is, it's considered failed. They didn't go through the whole
Right.
process because I think they saw that the
Yes,
system was in
yeah.
trouble.
Is it able to be pumped, Billy, in case it has to go on, or?
Well, yeah, there's no breakout that we're aware of, but it's
Yeah.
it's a failed system way over the 2 years.
Right. Which it's been, I mean.
Well, 22, so that means it would have failed in 2020.
Right. So.
Okay, that's a nice situation. I think maybe we should ask her for periodic updates moving forward.
Yeah.
3 months, 4 months, something like that, no more than 6.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to keep that ball alive, I guess is
Right.
where I'm coming from.
Wait,
It's been a while. What's that, Bill?
I found a letter from Lakeside. It was July of 2020. And it just says that the cesspool fails the Title V criteria. It's being over full. A cesspool has to have at least half a day's flow to pass, so it sounds like that's kind of at capacity.
Okay,
So we can write a letter.
sounds good.
So we're trying to send that person who's invited for the hearing. We're trying to send him the link. That's if you see me looking away.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why, if he's not, because John sent that out to everybody.
You know what I'll do is I'll text him because he might not be looking for that.
Yeah, tell him to check his email, and the one that's from Show Care Family, that's the link he should click on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if his email might not have caught up too.
Val, are you in the office tomorrow or were you Monday or I'm not plugged in with your schedule. I don't remember
So
your
no,
schedule.
that's all right. That's all right. So I do the 8 hours on the Wednesday.
Okay,
And then I always have 2 hours, which I switched over to Monday. But once July 1st comes, I'll do all day Monday and all day Wednesday
That's groundbreaking.
to get
that
the
Yes.
really
16 hours.
is, that's huge.
Yeah, that'll be the 16 hours. So
Yeah.
still all day Wednesday. And then I have the 2-hour overflow, which I just switched to Mondays for the payroll. Which successfully went through, by the way.
It's
So,
a-
yay.
That, that's all working now with John and everybody signed.
Yeah, yep. Everything's going
terrific.
actually very well.
Do you know, coming July 1st, the 2 full days, what those will be yet?
Probably
She-
8 to 4.
Just, yeah,
Mondays and
just
Wednesdays.
keep it, if that, we're a ways away from July 1st, so just
Yeah,
keep us informed if you need to shift that, that's all.
Right.
Super.
It is summer, so things change. Might
yeah.
have-
I wouldn't anticipate a lot of changes this summer. I already told my family that this will be a summer of adjustment for them as far as their. Well, they're 3 boys, so
That's what I
Mm.
mean.
they're
you
used
could
to
have- be
having me
doing anything.
around.
Right. Things change for us too, so.
Can they cook?
Sure.
Can they cook,
A
Val?
little bit. I mean, they can grill, so that's
Okay,
something for
all right,
sure.
that's good.
Fabulous.
All right, next on the agenda, permits 331 Sawyer Hill.
Before we jump from discussion, Paul, I did get a plan and a letter of request for 167 Lancaster Road, so I'd like to arrange that variance hearing. If we're gonna have a quorum, it looks like it will be the June 3rd meeting at 7:30. If that works
Okay.
for everybody, I'll get a hearing notice out to the owner and the engineer and to Eloise.
What was that address, Bill?
I think June 3rd is 2 meetings out.
167 Lancaster Road, Bobby.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, so June 3rd. No, actually. I guess we're gonna make that June 17th if we're gonna do our usual two meetings out, correct?
Yeah, wait a minute, let me look.
So
Yeah, that's
you,
right.
so you have to book the hearings in a certain time frame?
Well, the local regs require a notice to abutters by certified mail and notice
Okay.
in paper at least
right.
10 days prior to the meeting, so.
That is the
going to next
17th.
No, that
meeting-
makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes they're ready to roll and that way they just have plenty of time to get the hearing notices done correctly.
Okay.
So that's June.
And none of those notices fall under my
No,
responsibility.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Nope, but I'll be happy to, just kind of go through the process. The board has a nice template. I just fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
I post one on our board, I give one to Eloise and I get one to the owner and the engineer, and it's their responsibility to do the notice of certified mail in the paper. Yep.
We'll set the time. Accordingly.
June
later.
17th at 7:30.
Okay,
Yeah, we
Got it.
usually, Val, John, we usually schedule our first hearing at 7:30 so that we have a half hour, of the meeting to go through, other business.
Okay.
because sometimes, we get walk-ins that,
Yeah,
have nothing
that's
to
right.
do with the variance
Right.
hearing or anything
Yep.
else, and we try and clear that deck in that first half hour amongst other business before we get
That's
to the hearing.
that's a good point, Paul. Before the building permit process went electronic, all building permit applications went to meetings, so we left that half hour open because we obviously had a lot of activity with that
Right.
type of material being reviewed at meetings. So
Okay.
331 is the upgrade. So I texted the engineer. I haven't heard anything back. We can move through some other topics and come
Yep.
back to that.
Is it
Mhm.
possible that it's not our fault that he can't get on? He's just maybe.
Well, the odd thing is when I went to text him, it says he has his notifications turned down, so he probably didn't get
Oh,
my text
no.
either.
But he hasn't emailed any of us back, right? To say that
No, actually. He
We-
again, engineer's attendance is optional. he just indicated he was planning on attending.
Oh,
So-
oh, okay, all right, all
So
right. That makes me
John,
feel a little
John, I
better,
think
to be
has the
honest.
plan to screen share, so we can certainly go through the process. We would
Oh.
just need to verify certified mail and notice. In fact, I think he's already sent us the notice in the paper. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, before we
Okay.
open a hearing, we always make sure they have that documentation. If they don't have it at the
Right.
meeting, we do take action, but we hold the permit to verify that that notice was done.
Okay.
Okay, good. I was panicking here that he had to come, you know, to the
Nope.
meeting and maybe he didn't get the link or something. So, okay, great.
No, it's really up to the owner. I mean, obviously he has to pay his engineer to be here. I can present the plan as well as the engineer and the variances needed. So it's really the owner and the engineer's choice whether or not they want to attend.
All right, I just heard from Stan
So,
and I'm just texting him to try John's link if he's can get on.
okay. So do we want to look at that plan, Billy, or hold off, or?
What time is it? Yeah, we might as well look at it. I think if he
No,
was gonna
were you
be here,
okay?
he'd be here.
Yep. Were you okay with it, Billy? Or-
Yeah, it's a tough thing.
Oh, great.
Oh, there it is. Beauty. Good job, John.
Good job, John.
Yeah, John, that looks
Alright.
good. If we could zoom just kind of that center area of the plan.
Okay. You want everything, I see. Got it.
Yeah,
Get used to it.
All right,
I
well,
can zoom in here
well,
on my
my,
own.
my eyes aren't
John.
what they used to be, but I can certainly explain what we have on the screen. Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's good.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
Right
this is
there.
that small gray house that's all alone on Sawyer Hill Road. So if you were coming in from 62, you'd pass Walnut Street and then you'd see Broken Stone. This would be
Yeah.
that small house on the right as you're heading towards Bolton.
Oh, okay, that
Right.
area of Sawyer
Yep.
Hill. Okay,
Right.
I know.
they actually own that, don't they, Billy?
Correct.
Mass
Yep.
Broken? Yes.
So the fate of the house is unknown. It might be knocked down, it might be rehabbed, who knows, but they do need a system. Unfortunately, this
Right.
site is just like across the street. It's pretty much all ledge. We did about 20 holes out here, all very shallow. We
Huh.
had 2 holes with barely enough depth right up near the road, so you can see that's where the leach bed is ending up. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see that rectangle kind of
Yeah,
hatched out. That is a proposed house if they knock down the existing. And beneath it, you can kind of see that L-shaped building. That's the existing house.
Oh,
okay.
okay, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Probably an old cesspool. They didn't bother really
Yeah.
taking a look at what's there. They know they need a system.
right.
So out the front, gravity sewer to a 1,500-gallon tank, a 1,000-gallon pump chamber, and a leaching bed right up there, the road. And there
What's
is
that, a
list of-
3-bedroom I see, Billy?
Yeah, he did supply us with
Yep.
a room breakdown. 3 bedrooms makes sense. Obviously, we don't have any documentation
Right,
on file as far as the original system. So these variances are pretty common for upgrades. We get 3 and no reserve area provided rep. So kind of lucky to find that area just to put in that upgrade.
Right.
Perk tests, again, we did the one that the state code requires, not the 2 that the local regs require.
How's the well, Billy?
That they're decommissioning the existing, as you can see, and they're going to
Yeah,
put in a new
Okay.
drill, which is again towards the bottom of the screen.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Dan
I can
says
see,
he's on. Oh, yep, yep, yep.
I can see the radius for it, Billy, yep.
Needs a distance variance. That's to that street line out front. I think the
Yes.
local reg it's 20 or 25, and they're asking for like 14, 15. The state code is 10, so we're good with that. And
Okay.
the last variance is the ledge regulation. Again, barely enough soil there using the subsoil and the sea layer. I think we barely got 4 feet. That the town requires 5, but again, it's certainly miles above what's there.
And they still can create a gravity feed, right, Billy?
Well, it's a pump, actually. Like I
Oh, it
said,
is a
there's a
pump. Okay,
gravity
I
to a
see.
tank and then a pump chamber, and then it's gonna pump. You can see that force main
Oh,
goes
yes,
each
yep.
driveway to
Okay,
that leach bed. Yep.
that looks good to me. Oh.
I don't know if the board has any questions.
I'm all set with it, Bill.
Is the house currently occupied?
I'm
The answer to that, I guess, is
not sure.
You want me to stop sharing or keep sharing it?
Um,
It's up to you. Just let me know when. I don't know when to stop it,
Yep.
I guess.
you can stop it as far as I'm concerned. Bill, you good with any comments on it while it's on up screen?
like I say, it's a straightforward upgrade, complies
Yep.
with Title V, and just needs those local variances.
Okay, I'm all
I'm
set
good.
with
You
it.
could, you could drop it, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if the board is set with that, I will draft a permit and sign it for the board.
Yeah, let's do a vote on that, so we make it official.
I'll make a motion to agree to the upgrades to that address. What is it? 331 Sawyer Hill Road. Can I get a
Second it?
So I'm not actually part of the, this, okay.
You want to ask for a vote now, Paul?
Yep. Well, was it, I'll second it if it wasn't, and,
No. Yeah,
Now
it
we
was
can vote.
seconded.
I seconded it, Paul, but it's all
oh,
right.
I'm sorry, all right, I was writing down here.
No problem.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Variances are so granted. 331 Sawyer Hill Road. Um. Did we actually do 100 River Road or
No,
did we?
that's gonna bump to next meeting. I've
Oh, that's
still
gonna
got
go next. Okay,
some revisions on that plan that are needed. Yep.
okay.
Right.
All right, Title V inspections. 75 Carter Street.
That is a failure. So send out our standard 2 years to upgrade letter. Just to, I'm speaking like everyone knows what I'm talking about. So Valerie and John, when when Title V inspection fails, the state code says it must be upgraded within 2 years or needs to be. So if someone's got sewage breaking out in their front, we're gonna give them, a pretty tight line that, but if it's a standard failure for other reasons, if it's not an imminent health threat, then the state code gives 2 years total to have that system upgraded.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
97 Boylston Road.
That is that Matthews property where we had that building permit that would have triggered the tank replacement. And again, there were some issues there with the site. So they did do the Title V that the Board of Health requested, and it did pass, including the water testing on the well.
Okay.
All right, 165 Lyman Road.
Yeah, that's a pass also.
4 Colson.
Pass.
And 80 Jones Road.
It's a pass also.
That's a pass also?
Yep. So Val, on passing Title V's, we just need to reflect in the minutes that they, because that's the one question we do get is, has the board seen it type of thing? So as long as it's in the minutes as a pass, that's fine.
Okay.
If it's a failure, I'll draft up a letter. Again, we can probably do some type of a template after a while where we can address and
Yeah.
to the date of the inspection report.
Okay, new business. 136 Central Street. A 40 by 80 barn is requested. Have you seen
said-
that letter, Bill?
I think
Is it the planning board that wants the letter from the Board of Health?
yeah, I
believe
think so.
Paul. I believe so, Paul.
Okay,
The only we have just loose ends on that site as part of the new home being built, new system, new well. You know, the old well and the old system was supposed to be decommissioned, and I thought ultimately the house demolished. So I don't know if we want to just mention that those items are still outstanding. I know that's part of the big plan. I just don't know about the timing.
so you're saying the well and system that you're referring to, septic, were associated with the now empty house that got hit by lightning and is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we should, in our communication, we should probably mention that.
Yep. draft.
So septic and well were supposed to be decommissioned on the old property and the house is supposed to be demolished. That was some of the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not necessarily requiring the house be demoed, but I think
Demolished, right.
the two the two houses on one lot thing, I think the ultimate plan was to demo that building.
Yes.
But whenever a septic is put in, the old one is to be abandoned. That system that served the old house actually failed at Title V. There's a whole history there, so it
Okay.
just needs to be decommissioned.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if it has been done, we just don't have that documentation.
Okay.
So we'll wait on that documentation, Billy, before we.
Well, we'll just say to planning board that we still have those loose ends on the property.
Oh, right, that was to the planning board, not the, petitioner, okay.
Okay, so for the minutes, we're gonna put that, there were some things that weren't attended to, and, you're just gonna pass that information on.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think the owner has that intention. Again, we haven't been pushing it because again, the system used, but it does need to be.
So before the board sends the Board of Health sends a letter to the other board, we have to have those conditions met. The septic and the well need to be decommissioned.
Well, we'll alert them that those items are still outstanding on the site.
Okay.
Hand that as a.
Okay.
Was there any indication that there was gonna be any water or facilities with the barn? Do we have any information on that?
That I don't know, but I got the submission, which I don't have with me, unfortunately.
Okay,
But I'll take a Thursday.
we can certainly ask for that.
Yep.
That's a good sized building.
Yeah, I wish I had one that big. Okay,
All right, the next item, Stan should be part of this one. There he is.
Sure.
E,
So is your day getting any better, Stan?
She can open her eyes by the end of the day. That's good.
Well, that is a good thing. All right.
Didn't do that this morning as she was being wheeled away in the ambulance.
Really?
Oh, no.
who's that, Wendy or Mom?
Yeah, Wendy.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Stan.
Yeah, massive vertigo. She had it once before and it's passed in a day and a half or so. I mean, she was laid out from it that first day, but she could not. There was no way she was getting off the bathroom floor this morning.
Oh,
wow.
Very
Oh.
good, Stan.
Give her our best, kid.
I will, thanks. So
Please
sorry
do.
this morning.
Jeez.
She's
three
she's
daughters,
checked
I'll
into
make you
Butler
get a milk
Hospital
card.
and we'll see what she's doing.
Yeah,
Okay, Stan and I have had some conversations relative to it ties in with the sale of stickers and the possibility of kind of doing a survey like document that would go out with the stickers to find out from the townspeople that use our transfer station, things like, are they happy with the days and hours, or would they see it want to change? Um, would they support and use composting if we offered that at the transfer station? The pay as you throw, as everybody knows, that's uh, people would buy bags, and the bags are depending on size. If there are two sizes, there's a fee for each bag. That's something we haven't done in the past, and frankly have kind of resisted. But as time goes on, um, there's some equity issues. You have a single retired person, elderly, they come in with one little bag. And then we have people that come in with a pickup truck load with 8 or 10 bags, and fundamentally they're paying about the same. And we'll get in more information from a recycling coordinator with DEP on that. But I want the board to be aware of this and invite you all to come up with any other questions. Another one is well, relative to recycling, is there something we can do better? What's the feedback from the town on that?
Can I just ask a question? I don't know if
Sure.
this is feasible or not.
Yeah.
We're doing if or then, we could do this or we could do that. Is there any room to have the person that says, I'll buy the big dump sticker price? And I'm not worried about how many times I use it, and then why don't you have a pay as you throw for the person, or a different tiered purchase price where they have to buy the bag to bring it in so the elderly person can get represented, as opposed to painting the entire population with one or the other?
Well, I think
Well, it'd be-
administratively, it presents a real challenge, and it would definitely present a challenge for Stan and others working at the transfer station. Are we gonna have two different stickers to identify those people, and how do you track them? We have people now that as soon as Stan turns his back, something goes in the container that shouldn't. So
Right.
policing that whole thing is an issue. I'm not saying it can't be solved, but I just want everybody to aware that it's a real challenge.
So,
Right.
John, so are you asking like if someone can pay like a hefty fee, like a $300 sticker, and then or you're saying like pay the regular rate and,
So if I don't want to buy the bags,
yeah,
what we're talking about here is, and this is what Paul's saying, the one elderly person or the one person that throws one bag of trash a month away.
mhm,
And the same sticker prices, let's say my family throws 10 bags a month away.
right.
If I don't want to buy bags, is there a way that I could just stick to the same program that I'm currently in? And if someone wanted to opt out of this program and go into a pay-as-you-throw program to accommodate their needs, as opposed to doing it across the board. Just throwing it out there as an idea, because we're doing an if or then, like one or the other. And I
Mhm.
think there was a possibility to make a hybrid system where the person can choose, I want to do pay as you throw, or I want and have a much reduced sticker, and then they buy the bags for it. Or the
Mhm.
person that wants to pay for an increased sticker and not worry about the bags.
I
Yeah.
can see some issues with residents complaining that their neighbor has an unfair advantage, so to speak. If the neighbor doesn't have to pay by bag and he can just wheel in, I don't know.
Because we're doing, I mean, that's now, it's not hypothetical. That's what, we're doing that system now.
Well, we're not
Right.
doing as you throw.
Well, no, we're not doing this pay throw, but you said if they pay for a hefty sticker, I mean, that's what we're doing now. We're throwing more bags away with our sticker, or someone is going in once or twice a month, 3 times a month with very few bags. I'm just curious because, either way, I think either then, I'm just throwing it out there as a hybrid. I don't know if there's
Yeah,
any consideration as a hybrid.
Yeah,
In my opinion, I think what would happen is I think if you're implementing a new system and you're allowing some people to work under the old system, I think it's going to be perceived as negative to the people participating in the new
It's a
system.
choice, though. Isn't it a choice to go either?
Well, yes, it's a choice, but the other thing I would also say is that I think it would be I think it would be revenue negative to the town, because I think the people who are going to be choosing to do the pay as you throw are going to be the ones who have less trash now, and we're currently getting a full price sticker from them for less trash. And so now we offer them the ability to get a half price sticker and pay per bag. We might only generate, $175 in revenue from them instead of the $250 that we generate in revenue from them now.
But if I
and who's
remember
gonna
correctly, Stan,
differentiate between, get a low price sticker and one week they come in with a bunch of stuff and the next week they don't, I mean,
so
I think
as I see
that
it now,
opens the door for, yeah.
we're going to lose money with a half price sticker. Do we make any revenue off the bags that are being sold? That's the part I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, no, I'm not saying we lose money on a half price sticker. I'm saying if you implement
No.
pay as you throw across the board to everybody. The idea is what you do is you implement it with the expectation that your average customer will pay about the same. So you try to, what you do is you hope that we have a big fat bell curve and that most of the people are right in the middle. And those
Okay.
people, you assume that you're going to use 2 bags per week, and you adjust the price per bags to equate to whatever the sticker price is, plus those 2 bags is going to equate to what the current price for stickers is.
So forgive
And
me,
then-
Stan, does the town get a cut in the bags that are sold?
No, not
Us.
per se, not when you say get a cut.
Okay, so I'm having a hard time following how we're gonna make any money. We're gonna go half price on a sticker, and then people are gonna independently buy the bags to throw.
Well,
But we
town is-
sell them.
We
the
weren't
bags.
going
the,
half
the
price.
town sells the bags.
Paul, the last meeting we had, you said the vendor would come in and take care of all the stocking.
That's
and
correct. The
Okay.
vendor would handle the mechanics of it.
Okay.
I
So-
believe we'd
The
be
revenue.
paying about 30 cents a bag, but the bags are Berlin bags and, I'm gonna say
That's
that
what I was
a
meaning.
30
does the town
gallon
get a cut?
bag, a 30-gallon bag is $2, which goes to the town.
But the sticker price is gonna stay the same, correct?
No.
Paul?
No, we'd adjust
Oh,
the sticker
no.
price.
Oh, no,
The
that's,
sticker, Bob, so the sticker
That-
price in this case will go down.
okay,
considerably.
well, I wasn't aware of that new deal, but, okay, yep.
And then the revenue, the makeup revenue for the half price sticker or whatever the cost of the sticker is would be the percentage the town takes in per bag that's sold.
Correct.
You have two
Certainly, I
different size
understand.
bags, you have two
Yep.
different size take home.
Okay,
And the
all
idea
right,
is
well, I had a
that,
misunderstanding on that.
no problem, it's just a less upfront cost and with the incentive to
Right,
disperse
right,
the right materials into the right bag, so.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
that's the big incentive, and that's why DEP pushes it, is just to get people to pay attention to what they're putting in their trash bags.
certainly. I thought it was gonna stay the same. And we're gonna charge for bags, so we got the big haulers, were charged a little more, the little ones were charged a little less, but we're gonna get the same sticker price, but I guess we're gonna adjust that to sticker. price.
Realistically, we have to, so as not to penalize the residents. I mean, if we do this, and that is an if.
Right,
Yeah,
it
this
is
is not.
It's a sizable transition, and
Yeah.
with transitions, there's always gonna be some issues. But I've seen, I'm sure Stan has, a lot of people coming and just throwing loose trash away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they'd be required to put it in a bag, so it would be, we would be getting, how do I want to say it?
better idea of what's coming,
Well, no, we would be generating more money,
right,
because if you're now capsulating it or containerizing it in the bag, and
exactly,
we would still have to deal with the open top and bulky items and fee items and all that. Those aren't gonna go into a bag. This is household stuff.
there's not a 20-gallon trash can going in, without any bag to it, right,
Right, I mean,
which,
but,
yeah,
but what you can have is the equivalent of that 20, of that tote is, 2 bags. And so
Exactly,
if
yeah.
someone is loosely dumping in 2 bags worth of trash,
okay.
then hopefully we can price it such that, that person is paying about the,
For two.
the equivalent of
Or-
someone else who puts their stuff in bags.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And
And we'd have
partly,
to figure,
in the background, we have to keep in mind that there are some private contractors, excuse me, doing curbside collection with toters and so forth, but most of those, from information we've been able to garner, they're paying $600, $700, $800 a year. And
boy,
with
yeah,
our
right,
current system or with the pay-as-you-throw, we would be a more affordable option.
no
Because
doubt.
the other thing that we could look at is we could look at a volume discount for bags. I mean, that
Yeah,
that
that's
could
true.
also be a consideration for larger families. That perhaps, perhaps somehow we come up with a creative way to charge for the bags based on the, based on the usage. Like maybe there's a tier, some sort of a tier of quantity purchase kind of thing. I don't know. I thinking off the top of
No.
my head, but and I don't
Yeah.
know how to implement it, but
Right, now, where there be tier 1 bags and tier 2, Paul, like large bag, small bag price, or?
Well, that's yet to be decided. We have that option. We could be
Right.
one
Okay.
size bag, or we could have two size bags. A lot of communities that do this use two size bags.
Right,
We
that's,
want to get
okay.
more information from the DEP about the communities that use this pay-as-you-throw system so that we
Right.
can fine tune our thoughts and our questions. Obviously, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. If we did it, it would probably be
No.
next year. So
Yeah,
we've got some
sure.
time, but we want to start ferreting out responses from the general public. So that's the reason I'm looking for questions that would go on this survey from everybody.
Okay.
Please email them to me and
Certainly.
we will get them printed out.
And we can actually, I call a few other towns that are doing it, figure out how it's working for them, Paul, or?
If you want, I'm sure we
any
did it.
information is helpful.
What's that,
Yeah,
Stan?
we
I
did,
said any
we did
information
it
is helpful.
once.
Yeah, any information is helpful because
I mean, especially how they implemented it. I mean, I think we can get a lot of information from Irene and DEP,
DEP, right?
but I think, the nuts and bolts of how they implemented it, she's probably not going to know. I mean, it might be good
Right.
to speak to a highway superintendent or whoever is in charge of their transfer station to find out what their issues
Yeah.
were, what kicked it off, what their issues are going forward, what they've done to, maybe we can learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Or their
Terrific.
growing pains. Let's say they're growing pains.
Yeah, there you go.
Any other thoughts, questions, or ideas relative to this subject? We'll move on.
Okay.
Speaking of sticker sales, what are thoughts on when we should start selling them? We can't cash checks until July 1.
Right.
So I mean,
I was a bit-
in the past, I think we've taken checks in and so forth prior to July 1. We just sit on them, and I think we've sent the
sorry.
stickers out.
No, Donna wouldn't give me the stickers last year.
Oh, she wouldn't. Okay.
Nope.
So
She
I
knows
did,
I'm an easy mark.
the new form is up on the website, and there are new forms when you walk into the town offices and at the Board of Health desk. So they're out there, but
Okay.
I have only, I received one application from, it was
Have you?
actually usually last year's form. So I've got to, send something to that person. But otherwise, the stuff is out there, but we haven't gotten in anything yet.
Well, I think that's good.
I mean, I was envisioning that we would start the Wednesday, July 2nd, right? That we would start selling stickers that day. I was intending to have Amy down there to help me on that Wednesday, possibly the Wednesday and Thursday, fully expecting Saturday to be the big day. Val has agreed to help, as Donna has done in the past, on at least 3 of the Saturdays of the month. So,
But for the mail-in applications, is there any reason why we can't deal with those in June? Because I think we have in the past.
yeah, I think we can send them, there's, I would say maybe what we do is we record them, but not, I don't know. I don't know what Donna did, but if we send them
I-
out, people are gonna have them on their cars and they're gonna be, I mean, that's okay if they would have them on their cars early, but we weren't cashing their checks early. We can't do that, so,
Right.
I can process everything and just record everything, send them out and just hold on to the checks. That's not a problem on my end.
Yeah,
And we're not-
we can send them out the last week of June or something.
Yeah, we
You-
just-
You
right,
stockpile them so that
Right.
it's,
We're not on credit card yet, correct?
well, people can use a credit card to buy their sticker, sure.
Well, how would you hold
But
up
at the
the,
transfer station, they can't do it with Val
Well-
in the office.
yeah.
yeah, well, what I mean is if they do it early with we can't hold, well, we
No.
can charge them, but, yeah, right, okay,
No,
I
if
see.
they're doing it early, it's a check and it's a mail-in.
There you go. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I just tell people because a lot of people have already asked me. And I just say, we don't even start selling them. If at the transfer station, I just said, we don't even start selling them till July. So there's nothing
There you
early.
go.
It's selling them there. And if somebody comes in July and wants to use their credit card, then there's the fee associated with that. And I assume we'll have a few because there are some folks who just don't even have a checking account and they literally had
That's
to
what, that was my
go to
point,
the
yeah.
bank. Had to go to the
Yeah.
bank and get a bank check. So I think those people will just pay the fee and not have to worry about bothering doing that. But
Yeah.
we don't get a lot.
Truthfully, they'll
That
hand
fee
it in
does
in
discourage.
July with no problem anyway,
Right.
usually, right, yeah, so.
Yeah, that fee does discourage people. Trust me, the credit card fee is definitely a discouragement.
Does it?
but-
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, oh, yeah. Just too bad, because it's not,
Well-
so it's not as convenient as I had hoped it would be.
Yeah.
But,
It will be,
but
it'll work, yeah.
it's a convenience,
It'll work.
and it's an option.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
can use it, and they will, and they do, just not.
But that's it, like you say, if they come after July, they can do it anytime, so, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's, like I say, the early people, well, it's good for them and gives her some work. You know,
Yeah, I think we did 100 plus, we did like 130 or something mail-aways last year, I want to say. Something like that. I know we got into the second set 100. I don't know how far.
yeah, no, it works good to mail, yeah,
Because I think,
Actually, excuse me, I need to interrupt. Bill, I apologize. You don't have to sit through all this.
Yeah.
You can,
To talk, I'm happy to.
unless you want to
To
tell
stay
us how to.
on.
Unless you
Oh,
wanna tell us
okay,
how to
up
implement
to
pay
you.
as you throw, Bill.
Yeah, like Bolton sells bags. There's a town right next door that if you want to reach out, Bob,
Right,
and see
that's-
how they take care of it. Yeah.
that's how I was thinking, I talked to them before, and they were just implementing that, Billy, and they
Yep.
were implementing the truckload thing and all that type of stuff, you know, like a
Oh, yeah.
pickup truck or, you know, fees and that type of thing, and
I would love to get
So-
some feedback from them on them.
yeah, and Harvard still, I think it comes out of their taxes, but anything plus is something more, I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, Billy, thank you.
That's why reaching out for information is a beneficial move.
Right,
We don't want to speculate. We want to get as much fact as we can, so.
certainly.
All right, I think that's enough on pay as you throw right now.
Yep.
One thing, another thing on the agenda is camera installation at the transfer station. Stan and I have talked about some locations down there. What's the conversation that really needs to happen is how, who, and when can we do this?
I also think there might be a need for a discussion. I know there are people who are sensitive to being
Filmed
filmed.
on camera?
So, yeah,
You're-
so I think
you're-
there needs to be notification that it's happening.
Yeah, well, you're in public, Stanley.
Oh, I get it.
You're-
I'm not
Yep.
saying it just tells us not to do it. I think we just have to be,
I hear you.
we have to inform people and we have to understand that that it is an
You may
issue
be-
for people.
You may be on
And
camera.
fundamentally, the primary purpose, particularly after an incident earlier this spring where a couple people got hit, is safety.
Yeah.
And also the fact that
Liability,
there are
yeah.
days when there's only one person working at the transfer station. And that's not the best of any world.
Right.
So having cameras to kind of watch what's going on.
Right.
And,
What-
and I think that's the approach we take
There's cameras at
in
town hall.
communicating it to the public.
Anyone that does business at town hall is under camera.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It is
But
town property.
like Paul says, liability and with one person working, this, you can't babysit everybody, you know?
We put a sign coming into the entrance under video surveillance.
Yeah, I
cameras.
just
Surveillance,
want to
right.
make sure we're thinking about that. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's all.
okay.
And moving forward, I mean, we've been meeting via Zoom for quite a while. And I just want to put out there that I think there may be times when we want to meet in public. So I just want everybody to be aware. You know, in the past, we've had some interesting variance hearings. A little challenging, little pushback, and those, if we, or we have a heavy agenda with that sort of thing where, you know, neighbors respond to the cards and so forth. I think in person serves a purpose. Don't want to drag people out of their homes unnecessarily, but I think we probably do both, probably more Zoom than in person, but just giving everybody a heads up that I think both are gonna happen moving forward.
Yeah. Sounds good. We've been spoiled pretty good, but we've had good operators, and look at tonight, we got up running. It's working, so whatever works for everybody.
The last thing I have is our landfill engineering report has been sent to DEP. It's probably now 4 weeks ago, and we haven't heard anything. I understand DEP takes a while. What will occur next is DEP will be in contact with us to let us know or to identify what they call deficiencies. And I suspect one of them will be that we don't have any monitoring wells. And we don't have any test holes that show depth of cover. So we're going to be looking at those type of things. And the way it was presented to me is we'll get that information, get that list of deficiencies from DEP, and then we can sit down with them and go back and forth a little bit, you know, maybe they ask for 8 wells and maybe we say, you know, let's do 6. There's a little room for movement as it was presented to me. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but
Who does the wells, Paul? Do we-
ultimately, the long-term goal, I think, is to get a sign off from DEP about our closed landfill so that we can turn it into a solar field and generate something for the town.
Who do we hire? Do we hire out for someone to dig the test wells?
Yeah.
I would probably, I'm not sure if DEP has a list, but a company like GeoSearch out of Sterling does them. I called them just to get some kind of idea of cost. They have some equipment that goes out for
Yeah,
several $100s an hour, and then there's materials
Right.
for the wells, and you know, ka-ching, ka-ching,
We're
ka-ching.
talking K, a little
Paul?
money. So
Yes,
I think Bolton used FG Sullivan also out of Lancaster. They had
Yeah,
wells that had
yeah.
to be cleaned out, so you might check with them too.
FG Sullivan.
Yep.
Not familiar with them.
thank you, Mr. Brookings.
that's an old group over there, Billy.
That's for sure.
They're out of
National Housing.
Lancaster.
Yep.
Vote.
Yeah, I think it's Bolton Road, but yeah, they've been working over at the Bolton landfill for the last couple of years. Some of their wells
yeah.
had silted in, and I think they had to put a new well in because another one collapsed. So yeah, I know they do it, and they're local, so
Oh, okay,
maybe more affordable. Not sure.
absolutely.
Right.
Well, Personally, I'd
Oh.
rather keep it close to home in case,
Right.
well, in case
Exactly.
stuff happens. It's always easier if you're close by.
And the review will tell, right, Paul, or what we might need or what, actually.
Well, you can call it a review. I'm not sure what it'll be a report from the DEP of deficiencies. And that will indicate what they want us to do. And
Correct.
at that point, we can sit down with them and Ty and Bond, the engineering firm that did it, and have a three-way conversation about what really is most important and what can we maybe downsize off of their deficiencies or reduce quantities. So we have a ways to go and there are more question marks than
Right.
answers.
Getting the
it sure
ball
would be nice
rolling
to
there,
Get a
though.
solar field going though, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I
that would be
mean,
nice.
I mean, we could certainly, I'm certain, I think there's probably at least 3 acres that could go into a solar field, maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many kilowatts that generates, but I'm guessing more than we use for the compactors.
Right. Right.
And
Well, that
maybe
would be
even,
sweet.
maybe even more than
Solar
our
field,
electric.
you know, it would be nice to
Yeah.
completely offset our electric bill
Right.
plus some.
Right.
you
I'd
know.
say maybe even more than our electric baseboard heat. We might even generate that.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Maybe now that
Maybe
now
we could
Tilly-
take,
I was gonna say
heat
Tilly
take-
can be left open year round now. People can
Stan,
throw.
you
Yeah.
can turn it up to 8.
that's what I
now.
was just gonna say, take it or leave it, maybe a
Turn
little
it up to
later.
80. Yeah, that's right. Bake them.
All right, I have nothing else. Anybody, any kind of new business, thoughts, anything?
Well, I have one quick thing that I don't think we
Absolutely.
need to talk about here during the recorded meeting, but maybe in a text. We should try to think about maybe doing a little something for Sue since she left, even if it's
Yeah.
just a card or a little gift card to the tavern down the street from, where she lives, just
Absolutely.
kind of
and
acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement is entirely
Yeah,
appropriate.
that's a great
Okay.
point.
I'll chip in.
Okay, so just look for some kind of correspondence coming your way about, doing a little
Okay.
something.
Yeah,
About
great
something, about
idea,
somebody.
Valerie.
Thanks, Val.
I think we should also just send a letter thanking Donna for her years of service.
Yes.
And help
Another
with the
good
Board
point.
of Health.
Yep.
She,
And it-
she was there pre-Stan and had to deal with various
Yep.
things at the transfer station selling
Yeah.
stickers, so that deserves acknowledgement.
Thank you,
All right.
Stan.
I
Maybe
can
for-
draft something up and send it to you
Yeah.
guys,
Okay.
and you
that'd
guys
be
can
great,
take a
Tom.
look and add
Yeah.
personal things to it or whatnot.
Yep.
Right,
Okay. Great.
Great.
right.
Thank you.
Are we good?
All right.
I think we're
So,
good.
Can I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to dismiss the meeting. Adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it. All in
Okay.
favor, John,
Hi.
Bobby,
All right.
and I here.